Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Gran Turismo Sport and this is Daily Race C from Suzuka in the Group 3 cars. I opted for the Beetle for the race. Not a great track for me in particular. I really struggle with every sector really on this track. So I only managed a 2-minute flat which put me around mid-pack. So we're going to jump straight into it. And you're going to see some very poor driving from me and questionable driving from others. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so jumping into the race. I started down in P11. And you could have 2 tyre compounds. I believe it was the mediums and the hards. Now, I tried a couple of races before, and I tried, obviously, the normal strategy is if you start near the back, you use the hards, and go on to the mediums. And I tried that in a race before, and I just could not get the hards to work. So I thought, right, I'll use the mediums at first, and I'll try and gain as much time as possible. And I'll use the hards at the end, and I'll try and hang on for dear life. So that was the game plan. As we haven't even started the lap yet, and I nearly spun the car out completely before we even crossed the line. So we're going to be down 6 seconds already by the time we have started lap 1. No, sorry, 6 seconds from the leader and 1.5 seconds from the person in front of us. So rolling starts are very poor, I think, on this game. So automatically we are down. So as we get through the twisty first section, which is very on and off the throttle, I just could not find a rhythm, no matter how hard I tried in practice. As there seems to be some carnage up ahead. Oh, we've got one car there, two cars ghosted there. So that's the start of the carnage as the Mercedes touches the grass on the outside, and I don't know what happens to him really. Now, the last time I did this track was the Super Formulas, which was in one of the daily races, I believe, and I just struggled. I just could not get this track to come together for me. Now, I don't know what it is about it, because when I think about this track, I think, oh, this track, it looks, sounds amazing. The twisted sections, the fast sweeping bends, the back long straight, it's got everything that I like, but I just cannot get it right. Every corner is so tricky. So as we come to the end of lap 1, we are currently in P8. So we've gone up a few positions. All 3 of them were people being in it and crashing. So if we can just stay with the Porsche, as the Porsche on the inside there going into that corner, really have to be on the outside and swing it in, come off the throttle for a very short period of time. Oh, as the Aston behind us gives us a little love tap, which throws us right off balance, and unfortunately we do give the Peugeot a little love tap out of the way, which, I mean, the Aston unsettled me by giving me a little tap, but that is something that we will have a look at. We will have a look at that Aston in particular. We will come back and have a look at some of his behaviour. So as we latch on to the back of the Stella Artois, we are in an Aston Martin sandwich here. So the guy behind us is continuously flashing his lights at me, which if you have been following the channel for a while, you will know that I find nothing more infuriating than someone behind me flashing their lights. It literally drives me insane. So I'm hoping to deal with that as we just try and hang on to the Aston. Now, I know that I haven't got pace around here, so I'm just doing everything I can to stay in the slip of Adoaz, because if I lose that slip, then I'm not gonna struggle. As the Aston behind us again nearly absolutely obliterates us going into that hairpin. He overshot his braking. Wow, I don't know how he avoided me. So that is pretty lucky there. As now you come into this corner, I could never really get it's like you brake, then you throttle, and then you brake again, as the Aston finally decides that he's going to force me out of the way. Now, again, that was I don't know. I feel that was a very strong move to make there. He stuck his nose in and just forced his way through, and did not care about forcing me off the track or forcing me wide. So now we're stuck behind two Astons, and I believe that guy's got a "My driving scares me too" sticker slapped on the back of his Aston, which I think is quite fitting, really, because if it scares him, then it goddamn scares all of us too, as we will shortly find out all about his driving ethics, shall we call it. So as we now, we're in lap 3, we're in P6, so we're making good progress, I feel. I mean, there's a few cars up ahead, P3 there, P2 just in front of him, so we're not too far away, really. We're only 6.5 seconds away from the leader. Now, I don't think that's too bad. Obviously, we've got pit stops to deal with, so I think so far we've had a little bit of a rough race. We've been duffed up a little bit, and there's been a few argy-bargy moments, but I think we're doing okay. We're certainly doing a lot better than what I initially thought. We started down in P11, so we're doing okay. As we all are nearly, very nearly. That corner there, if you run wide onto the AstroTurf on this track, that is it. You might as well be an ice rink, as that nearly spits us out the other end, that corner there. So as we come down to the final sector, the two Astons are going to start battling with each other, which inevitably does slow you down. So now I'm thinking, right, okay, if I can just sort of latch on to the slipstream, what's the gap now? So I'm just out of the slip, which is slightly annoying. As we come round onto the back straight, we are now firmly within the slip range. So we've got the Aston in front of us, who loves to give people a little tap. We've got the Stella Artoris in front of him, and I'm not sure what happens here. The first Aston seems to roll off the throttle, and I mean, I gave him a tap there, but he approached me so quickly, there's nowhere to go, as the Aston absolutely punts us, and yeah, that there is what I'd call race over. We lose so many positions, so much time, and what they say, you know, there's the old saying of once you lose a race, like once you crash once, that's it, it's game over. And yeah, we're about to see, we're about to witness. It just, from this point onwards, it just went downhill. So as we're in P8, a couple of people have made pit stops. I'm still on the same mediums, as we try and ride as close as we can as the Peugeot through the twisty sections. Just latching onto him, try and save some of our tyres, and try and just try and get through the rest of this race in one piece, really. I mean, it's been quite a bit of a battle, really, as he goes quite wide, so we look for a move up the inside here. We can't quite get it done, and then we go into this corner side by side, and this is just purely a racing incident. I get it all wrong. You can't fit two abreast through that corner, and one of us had to back out, and neither of us did, and I, being on the outside, yep, I bit the bullet, and it spat me out into P10 after I did a nice little pirouette and kicked up some stones. So again, frustrating. We've lost a bunch of time, a bunch of positions again, and we're back down in P10, so one position above where we started. And the gap to P9 is 7 seconds. So lap 6, we make our pit stop. We put the hard tyres on, and now this is really where we're going to start struggling, because like a bit of a sausage, I didn't do any practice on the hards, and for a track that is not your go-to track, I think you really need to practice the harder compound, so that way you are familiar with it, and it's not so much of a shock when you go from the nice grippy mediums to the slippy hards. So we get lap 6 well and truly underway. The gap to P12 is about 1.3 seconds, so not too bad. He's within touching distance now. Obviously we're going to be on fresher tyres than him, Not too sure what tyres he's on, but mine are fresher regardless. And what do we have? We have an Aston Martin and an M6 behind us. So the dreaded fear of the Astons. Is this guy going to be as friendly as the other one, shall we say? Now we come into the tricky, I don't know what this bend is called. It's got like a triple, it's like a double apex that I just really could not figure out, as the Aston is super close to us, and again, that Aston forces his way through, which then lets the M6 through. The M6 is like, nope, see you later, you're going out wide. And yeah, I don't know what to make of this. So again, that Aston, I mean, the move was on, but then he got a load of understeer and just forced me incredibly wide, and just left me to hang really. And I lost 2 positions, but then the M6 decided to get a bunch of understeer. I did the same to him. So this is just a race full of forcing people off the track, I believe. Don't get me wrong, there was a moment earlier in the race where I did it, where I got a little tap from the Aston behind me, and it sent me into the Peugeot. So yeah, this race had it all. So where are we now? We're in P14. We've got the Porsche coming out of the pits on fresh tyres. Me and the M6 are absolutely going for it. Whereas these two get incredibly close with each other. The Porsche is, I don't know what he's doing. He's snaking left, right and centre, trying to get some grip in those tyres. He must be on the hards. Just trying to light them tyres up, get some heat into them, find some grip. As me and the M6 are all over him like a cheap suit. Absolutely. Where are we going now? So we're now coming in to the second half of the lap. So I think to myself, P12 is probably all we're going to get from this if we're going to do anything. I don't think we've got the tyres, I don't think we've got the pace to claw back anything higher than 12. So I really need to try my best to try and stay with these two cars. I've got to nail every braking point, every apex, because they're pulling away from me already. So I'm just going to take something insanely special as we come into the tricky corner onto the straight. We get it all wrong. We hit the AstroTurf on the side, we go onto the concrete. We got insanely dirty, hard, non-grippy tyres, and yeah, boy, classic. Absolute classic. We just get it insanely wrong. Not any part of that had any skill in it. I ran out of talent. Absolutely ran out of talent. As after we finally correct ourselves, we're in P16 on lap 10. Absolutely shocking race, but let's take it back. Let's have a little look at some of the incidents, shall we say, in this race. Now some of them were racing incidents. So this is lap 1. This is up for P2. This is the Aston Martin, the famous Aston Martin with the scary driving. He's very forceful in his manner, and the Mazda it looks like as if the Mazda's like, well, I've had enough of you trying to force me out of the way, and takes both of them clean off the track. So as we skip forward, so that's me there just in front. Is this his move up the inside of me coming onto the back straight? I think it is, where he forces me. Now his 2 wheels are off he had 2 wheels on the grass there to make that move, which very, very forceful move. Now this is where the Aston slows down. He rolls off the throttle, slows down, and they both run wide. One of the Aston grabs a half-second penalty for cutting that corner, and then he just absolutely just sends it straight into the back of me. But I've put up the HUD here, so see, he rolls off the throttle. I'm not sure why he let that other guy through, which I obviously wasn't expecting that. And then I gave him a tap off the track, and then yeah, we just absolutely no regard for braking in time with me or braking points. Grabs himself a 3.5 second penalty, which is fairly justified, I do believe. Now this is the green Aston, which forces his way through, and just really leaves me out to hang. You know, he makes the move and then doesn't. It's like as if he just like, no, I'm not going to turn in anymore. And then this is a little bit further on. I'm not involved in this one, but this is the two Astons again, and he gave him a little tap there just on the exit, and yeah, forces him off the track, which absolute crazy. Now, this was a very frustrating race for me, not good at all. So, thanks for watching. I do hope you enjoyed witnessing my pain and struggles that I encountered. If you enjoyed the content, please do like and subscribe. It does mean the world to me. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you.